A little busy, a little hazy. Ooh. Ooh. Honest peace, 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 peace. Good evening. Good evening, family. How is everybody on this beautiful Friday, this beautiful Venus day? Hope everybody had a wonderful week. We made it through, you know. Give yourself a pat on the back just for making it through this week. And I swear this week went by really, really fast. I don't know if it's me, but yeah, super duper fast. Oh, man, we are waiting on the good sister, Professor Melanie. She just pulled up, and I don't know. This has always been weird when I'm trying to accept people.
Peace,
Oh,
peace. Oh, here we go.
can you hear me? Am I there?
I can hear you. I
Okay, how are you feeling?
Awesome. You can hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah, everything's crisp. No
Awesome.
problem. No problem. Happy Venus Day. Happy
Happy
Friday.
Venus Day. Yes.
How's your week been?
My week has been busy. It's been busy, very busy. Very good. I took time out every day to connect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that the first thing you do in the mornings?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same here. Like before I do anything, I have to take some time to just bring in and integrate all the information I got while I was sleeping, get my mind ready for this mission that we're on, you know? And so it's good. It's good to see you. I'm just waiting for a couple minutes for people to move into the room, and we're going to get started.
No.
We are going to get started. So, for people who are not aware, my name is Adara Moselle. I am a tantric shaman, energy worker, shaman in general. I help people tap into their sensual energy and subtle energy in general to better and enhance their life. And Professor Melanie, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm Professor Melanie. I'm a spiritual teacher, my mother calls me a spiritual scientist, uh,
Yeah.
also a healer, and I help people, create a strong spiritual foundation, and I teach them how to do the work in order to spiritually ascend.
Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Well, would you like to tell people how you got started in this work? Give them a little background, frame them up a little bit.
Okay, so how I got started, I really say that I got started over 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this was me working with a lot of now they're master teachers, and
Mm-hmm.
shut down. I was like, this is a lot. This is too much.
Yeah.
Let me let me just have a regular life. And I did that for a period of time until my soul was like, what are we doing? This is not what you're here for.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people call it dark night of the soul. I had like some dark years of the soul. But my soul was like, look, enough of this, regular, whatever you think, white picket fence.
Right.
Like, you're here to do your work, and let's get this work done. And so I would say maybe about 15 years ago is where I said, okay, what have I got to lose? Let me
Mm-hmm.
work.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually literally job, home, car, husband, friends,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been an amazing experience. That was challenging, right? But it's been an amazing experience, and I really got back into it when I started helping people heal my friends' family of like diseases and all sorts of things, and started a business with that, Zoe Essentials. Now it's Ascensions by Zoe. And then in I think 2019, I actually went back to be a director at a university. So my profession literally I'm a college professor, right? That's my
Mm-hmm.
profession. And I had this
Right.
amazing job opportunity. Listen, I was about 125. This is not it. This is not what we do. And so I turned it down and I started teaching all that I knew on spirituality and healing on YouTube. And it just grew. It just grew. And then from there, Spirit Doula Academy turned to Spiritual Ascension.
Mm.
We've taught like thousands of students at this point. So it's been amazing.
Cool. That's beautiful. So, what year would you say it was that you started your teaching on YouTube?
2019.
2019. Nice, nice, nice. 2019, I was in the throes of it. I was in the throes of it. Yeah, for people who will know my story, like I was pregnant and I was homeless at that time. So I totally understand the feel. I lost my house, I lost my car, I lost my dog, I lost my business, I lost everything. And the way it's been pulled back together is just such a beautiful thing. When you give your life over to the work and fully commit and bet on yourself, you know what I mean? Bet on yourself. It's a beautiful thing. So kudos to you. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you for taking some time out to speak with me this evening. I was thinking that both of our communities would enjoy hearing us talk, right? Because I've had some people from your people come and talk to me, and I'll be here for a while. We should connect, so I'm happy to be here for this.
Yes, absolutely. Likewise.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if it's my internet that's going in and out, but if it's good for you. Okay, because it's getting for me just a little bit. So I have some notes. I'm getting into this interviewing thing. I'm working on my stuff. Okay, so can you just tell us a little bit about the Ascension formula?
Oh, okay. So the Ascension formula, I'm so excited about this. So this is something that actually I've been studying for years now, literally years.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in 2019, really it hit me, and I started looking at the science behind it. Like, what is ascension? We hear people saying, "Oh, I'm not coming back. I'm not reincarnating," but like, what is the path to it? And so I was researching the science behind it because, again, I'm a science nerd. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so looking at the heart chakra. And so I was going against what a lot of spiritual teachers were saying with regards to ascending through the crown. And I was like, no, we ascend through the heart, not the crown.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so, and
Absolutely.
thanks to that. But so I've been studying this and really teaching on, like, this is the formula. So the formula that I teach on is knowing plus understanding equals power. Masculine plus equals power, right? And all of science, all the universe, everything points to this as being the formula. What I realized, and really, is that we really don't understand what each energy is about. We don't understand femininity. We think we know what that is.
Right,
We think masculinity is, right? And we kind of
right.
put ourselves in boxes. So I would say about last year, I said, let me really dive, into what this is and, create something. And it wasn't until I think 2 weeks ago, I was in Ecuador. I promise you, I was sitting on top of a mountain on a rock and it kind of all integrated. I was looking at
Mm-hmm.
codes, getting downloads, and I said, this is it. This is it. And this,
Mm-hmm.
actually coming up July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I'm having a 3-day workshop where I have 2 shamans that are coming in. You have to meet them. They're amazing. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
there. And they're one is going to talk on divine masculinity, what that is within women and men, how we all is surrounding us everywhere, how we tap into that. And then the other one's going to talk about divine femininity. And then I'm going to bring everything together. And this is the ascension formula. This is the process. This is what we do. Yeah. So,
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that because people have the whole tantra idea of just being a sexual situation, or it's all about like slow, greasy sex or just tapping into the body or something like that. But really, it is what you're saying. That is what Tantra is. It is, and it really is an essential formula. So, like I was saying to Dr. Shakira last night, Tantra is a braiding technique to bring all of these realms together. So when people see tantric body work, which is what I'll be teaching, I have a class starting July 14th, and I have a webinar on the 3rd. But you get a replay. So go to hers and then get the replay for mine and get it all together, right? So you see how it works together. But when you are performing tantric body work, you're literally asking for those things to come into play and to ask for your higher divine intelligence to who already knows how to bring it into play to work it and then show you and to form it. And it's not just the play within ourselves, but how we interact with the world around us, how we converse with each other. Like it's every little thing. I tell people all the time, like the bond is where they like say with like ATP, right? You know, like energy conversion in the body. The energy is stored in the bonds. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? In the bonds. And like people just don't understand the power of this thing. And when people really let them their energy flow, ascension is bound to happen. Like it's guaranteed.
absolutely.
It's,
Absolutely.
it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed.
Absolutely. I love that you said that, the integration, because we're so polarized. We've been conditioned that is this or that, this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And spiritual beings, we have to look at things
Yeah.
holistically. What? Like, they have to pick one lane or the other. Like, we're really supposed to decode all of this and look at
Yes.
it, integrate all of it. And so
Yes.
I know that because we've been conditioned not to, that's why our power has been robbed from us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that you said that, because that is truth.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. And it's beautiful that this work is coming back to the world. And you know, the path. So for people who don't know anything about me, I got into this work because I was trying to heal myself. I was in the military. I suffered sexual assault and stuff like that. Ended up suicidal. I was like, that's not the best option, and decided to find, you know, some remedies to love myself more. Lost like 60 pounds. Like I was telling Dr. Shakira last night. No exercise, just visualization and just loving. And I was having some health issues because I started hating my body, reconnected that, and then all of my health issues built up. And then eventually, as I awakened myself, different gifts started showing up. And these are not gifts that I developed, they're innate to all of us. So we have a blueprint, and within that blueprint, we have extra senses, extra abilities, and in that is our ability to interpret the world around us through energy. So when we can speak the language of energy, which is what our energy body is trying to do for us, filter and process this energy, then we can maximize this experience and it don't got to be a prison. You know what I mean? So, right. So I'm a big fan of, I call myself a pleasure priestess, and the fact that pleasure can be a route to awakening and to full divinity, because a lot of things we can't think our way through. We can only feel our way through. So when we master the body and feeling, then we can navigate it properly. You see what I'm saying? So this ascension is real, family. It's really, 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 really real. So, Professor Melanie,
Yes.
can you tell me two things about the heart chakra or about masculine and feminine energy, either any of these that people have misconstrued?
Well, something that came to me today as I was thinking about this, our collaboration, is something I learned my first year in college. And so I went to Rutgers University. Back
Mm-hmm.
um, there was a women's campus. So Douglas College, a couple of hundred years ago, was a women's college. It was into
Mm-hmm.
university. So it was a women's campus when I went back in the 90s. And so very feminist energy. And so I remember all of us were required to take this class. I forgot the name of it, but they shared statistics. And I'm going to share some of these statistics. They said that when women learn together collectively, that they're able to tap both into feminine and masculine. So naturally, people um, in a collective space, kind of energies divide, like kind of split. So you have women that are going to display more feminine or internal, because that's what it is. And then women who are going to display more masculine or external energies.
Mm-hmm.
It happens, right? And so women are more empowered. They learn more. They do more. They excel more because they're in their natural spaces, right? Respecting both energies, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, when women learn with men, what happens is that the construct takes over. And so it becomes, you're a woman, this is how you behave, and you're men, this is how you
How you behave,
behave. So
right?
you have women that are in energies that are not really their energies. They're behaving in ways that's not comfortable, and then confusion sets in. And
Mm-hmm.
so you really can't be empowered because you're only connected to one part of, who you're supposed to be.
Right.
And so when I heard that, I was like, that makes so much sense. Because
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself, not I consider myself, I'm a woman. Clearly, if you were to meet me, you would see like, oh, you know, she's a woman, right? um, but I have very strong masculine energy on my chart, right? I'm a teacher, like I'm a doer. I'm out here, you know, doing things. I'm building, creating. That's masculine. Um, I'm physically very feminine. But because I'm connected to that and I'm okay with that, I'm okay to move throughout life as me. Do you understand? Now, when I was younger, there was a struggle with that. There was a struggle with, well, boys only do this, right? And girls do this. But like, I don't want to do this, but
Mm-hmm.
I have to. So now I'm confused, you know, as to who I am and the role that I should play. So I just thought that was really interesting, you know, how that came to me. And I hope that answered part
Yeah,
of your question.
no, that's very interesting because I dealt with the same thing. So I was considered a tomboy all my life. I didn't have any sisters. I played sports. I liked bugs. You know what I mean, like all the things. So, and I was doing music production before it was popular for women to do music production. So people always were assuming that I was more quote unquote masculine or I was rough and tough and stuff like that. But I was like, really? My femininity is just expressing in a different way and it's tied into my authenticity and my individuality. And that's okay with me. But it caused a ripple right within myself. And it's crazy that you brought this up because that's actually, for those who can't see, my shirt says Master Feminine. Okay.
I love
So yeah. So what my it's so right. So what Master Feminine is I personally believe that feminine energy is broken down in archetypes, right? So I'm just going to take four of them. So we have like a seated hawk, we have elegant rose, which is the beautiful, nurtured, harmonious aspect. We have the nurturing mother moon aspect, and we also have the seated hawk aspect, which is the treasure chest aspect, which is the bringing in and spreading of the community, right? So each of us have this in us, and our ability to show up in each one of these quadrants gives us ability to show up in multiplicity in the world. So in my body work, I can show up as somebody's mother, sister, cousin, whatever. Now for the men, it's the same thing. You have an eagle, you have a hunter, you have a warrior, you have a warrior, hunter, eagle, healer, right? So the healer brings everything in the wholeness. The hunter goes out and gets, that's the one that's going to get the money. The warrior is going to protect the house. The eagle is going to be the strategist, right? So men can show up that way. But in ourselves, I can also be a hunter and the elegant rose for myself. I can go out and get it, and I can teach myself pleasure. So it's like I'm living life fully, and that's what it looks like when we're doing the shamanic thing. We're awakening these different attributes within ourselves that shows our full self, because conditioning shuts it down, right? And then as I learned more about how energy expresses, like in the I Ching, I'm a rushing water. So if we look at different deities, that means I'm a Kali type energy, I'm a sacred type energy, I'm a more of aggressive, wild type feminine energy than easier energy. Like that's not me. But the way that I show up in the world, understanding that gives me leverage so that I always know how to present myself a scenario, what role I'm supposed to play when a group of women show up. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm the wild ones you just throw out there. Everybody else can strategize for me. Dark like, that's the plan. All right, guys, let's do it. Like it helps. It really helps for us to know ourselves because as our energy awakens and our gifts awaken, it's going to awaken in your nature and in your pattern, right? And so, with that segue, can you talk a little bit about astrology and your awakening, or some things that people can look for in their chart to help them awaken?
Astrology is absolutely amazing. It is necessary. It is something that has forever, since you know us being on this planet, studied and decoded in order to within ourselves and truth of the world around us, right? So it's something that I'm really excited to see the uptick of it. I see a lot on social media, people talking about astrology and different signs, etc. But it's so much deeper than just your sun sign, right? But astrology, I call astrology the your blueprint. And so
Mhm.
if you can imagine, like the day you were born, and this was actually something that happened in ancient times. every community, every town, every city, every village had this thing, this person, excuse me, and their job was to, they were called a recorder, and their job was to record the sky every time a baby was born.
Mm.
And that child's parents would be told, this is your child, this is what they're here to do, this is their personality, this is everything about them. And so they will live their lives accordingly, right? We've lost that. So we don't
Mm.
are, we end up going to kindergarten and, 5 years old, and we're told, you remember those coloring pages? Like, you can be a policeman or a firefighter or a nurse or a doctor. And we're like, I don't want to do any of those things,
Right.
And so we're conditioned in a certain way outside of what our soul says we're supposed to do. And so astrology is like that blueprint. It says, hey, this is who you are. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is where you should be going. This is what you should eat.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you should,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's real specific, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you start understanding astrology or start decoding astrology, even down to the symbols of astrology, right? You really start understanding who you are. And for a lot of people, it helps them feel better about who they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
That says, "Oh, I'm an overthinker. Like, this is something bad," and I'm like, "Well, we need the people that are gonna, like, hello, like,
Yeah.
I be the overthinker.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
the one that thinks. That's a good thing." And when they see that, oh, it's because I have Virgo placements. Well, Virgo's the one who analyzes. This is why you are this way, and you are okay being this way, right? So that's what astrology is, like, in a synopsis of it and how important it is.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful because I tell people all the time, like in my classes and stuff, your gifts may not be what you expect them to be. Like, I never thought my mission was going to be talking about what I'm talking about, family. Like, there's no way, but it's in my chart,
Right.
right? It's in my chart. And even as I'm learning more about my spiritual lineage, my star lineage, all that type of stuff like that, I go back and look at my chart and I have very interesting correlations with people like Buddhas and the Babajis and uh, Tesla, like a bunch of people, Oscar Wilde, a bunch of people that I'm like, wait a minute. Gandhi, all of these people have similar placements in this thing. I was like, oh shit, I'm on a mission for real. Like, I guess I should stop fighting it.
That's
I
right.
guess I should stop trying to like do whatever I thought. Right, because one thing I like to tell people is if you don't know what you're trying to do, you don't know how to do it. But you have a blueprint within and the stars, like Dr. Shakira was saying, and the eyes everywhere. Like we always are told that we don't have a manual to this life, but we do.
Yep.
We do, family. Like you have access to all the power. You were born with all the things that you need already. You just got to forgive yourself for believing that you didn't and you don't and you weren't. That's the biggest trick, man. That's the biggest trick. So, Professor Melanie, I'm good for a tangent. I just want to let you know that.
So I've had like lectures where I went on for 6 hours. Okay, so like, like, we don't excuse that.
Yeah.
That's when Spirit is channeling through us and flowing, and we flow, right? And
Yeah.
whoever's meant to hear and hang on, that's who's ever meant to hear it and listen to it, And so I've had people sit, I'll be 4 hours, you hear me? And they will be 4 hours taking
Yeah.
notes, right?
What's up?
We don't
Yeah.
excuse the tangents. Those are channels.
Yeah. It is. I noticed that
Yeah.
some of my best wisdom comes through the rant. The rant. It's a clear channel to the Most High. For real. And it's funny that you even said that because I came into this with no background. Like I just had to find it on my own. Like people didn't want to answer my emails they back then. People didn't, they weren't, I wasn't getting into classes. So I just had to discern a lot of information. So the internet and Google is my first divination device. And to this day, one of my best divination devices. So I was just scrolling through some things. I came across one of your videos the other day about the symbols that you saw in Colombia, right? Ecuador, and the first one, Anya. And I was listening, and I looked at it again, and I was like, wait a minute. 2 years ago, I was doing a water ritual, and I had to do 20 grams of mushrooms as part of the initiation, and I had been practicing and doing water stuff all that year for like going ham, and in that ritual, I was told that I had a name called Ana Akanya. And I thought about it, the last name is Anya. I was like, oh shit. I hadn't even thought about it until I see that thing. And I was like, wow. So I'm saying that to say that it's interesting how spirit always keeps you on a path, because on my growth, because as shamans, we're always growing. Like life is the lesson always. You're always in school, and when you're learning from nature and the elements and stuff, they're always teaching you. So Adara represents fire for people who don't know, and Moselle represents the water. So for the last 8 months, I've been on the fire side of things, and last month water called me back. So to see that video, I was like, man, she's coming through, and with the information, like you were really giving it, and it was lining up for me really, really, really good in this work that I'm doing. So I just want to say thank you for that, and I appreciate the synchronicity and the validation and the what's the word confirmation to continue doing the things that I'm doing. So yeah, yeah, yeah. For people who don't know about the Anya, could you just tell them a little bit about that?
Anya is discovering your truth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sacred 7 Indian codes, or as part of their cosmovision, their cosmology of physical human with the world around, including the cosmos, the planets, the stars, etc. And it basically is, these are the 7 principles for life. If you
Mm-hmm.
connect principles and you do them, you work on them, then this is like how you ascend, right? And so these codes are found everywhere. And so in my lessons, I was like, look, we find them in ancient Kemet. We find them in indigenous nations on the eastern part of the U.S., Western, in New Zealand. They're everywhere. Okay, West Africa, they exist everywhere because they're essentially truth. We've been just disconnected from them. And so Anya, and so many things happened when you were saying your names. I was like, oh, you are ancient. It's like I had sometimes have to be careful. Like, what do I say? What do I say?
I'm just
But you're ancient mother energy, and
mm,
I'm not saying that to make you feel good. That's not my energy at all. I'm always gonna speak truth. Is because of the A's, the your name. So even
mm,
3 A's. Okay, 3 is that representative energy. And so whenever we choose our names, and we always choose our names, and we have that sound, is automatically ancient mother energy. Even when you were
mm,
at the water, I'm like, does she know? Like, does she know how old,
mm-hmm.
you know? So anyway, that was my little tangent.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, because the thing is, I know, but I don't know, and I'm still finding out. And I was like, asked my guys, I'm like, who am I? And they were like, if we told you, you wouldn't believe it anyway. So how about you just
Even breaking down your name, so it's feminine. So do you know Adara? Do you know that you
assume
want
I know nothing?
me to break it down
Yes,
for you? Okay.
please, please.
So is the first sound that we made as physical beings here when we lost our ability to telecommunicate. Okay, so our mouths were used for eating information, which are the fruit, the herbs, etc. Right? Drinking.
Mm-hmm,
Our ability, the first sounds we made were So
mm-hmm,
it's the oldest sound. So this, I said, you chose your name because it's primordial. Okay,
mm-hmm,
you think
mm-hmm,
came from right? So the next one was ma, da, all
mm-hmm,
the sounds, right? All those sounds. Ra,
mm-hmm,
even in ancient, Ya is another one. So even in ancient times, the names that they call their mother, their father, God, right? Ga, God, Ya, okay? Mother, Ma, father, Da or
mm-hmm.
Ba, okay? And so whenever I hear people that have names like that, I'm like, oh, this is an old soul. And so you literally are Da, Ra, okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Have
yeah,
that,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
you have that God, that Ra, the sun, and you also have that Da, that masculine energy that's in that name that you chose. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's interesting, and it's beautiful because like we were before you even went to the breakdown. I started, you started about the channel or something hit you real good. Your eye starts doing something. Little itchy and wiggly. I was like, oh, I think something's gonna come through. But yeah, like even before I got on this live, I had a feeling I was gonna share information that I don't normally share, and that's the beauty of this work of the ascension and going back and understanding because when I started teaching this work in 2 years ago, October, I never thought that I was gonna get the awakenings that I got, or that I would have the lineage that I have. So in one of the classes, I actually have it on video. Two of the young ladies channeled angels, if you will, and they came in. I was having a full vision, like I couldn't even teach the class; it just came over me, and I was like, eh. And they were showing me visions of where I came from. And for those who are familiar with my work, they know I deal with roses and stuff like that. And the lineage of that is dealing, like you said, with the Great Mother, with Isis, with Mary Magdalene, with Mother Mary, with Kuan Yin, with all of them. All these people are my guides, all of that. And on the masculine side, the Shivas, Krishnas, Yeshua, all of them. And come to find out, my spirit, who I don't even know what to say. If it's because I'm still working with my personal ego of like sounding crazy and whatnot. But other people say well all kind of stuff and they don't feel crazy, right? And so they were telling me that I am the reincarnation is the wrong word, emanation of Sarah Kali, which would be the daughter of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. And she is one of the Black Madonnas. And that's just one of the emanations that my spirit is coming from and stuff like that. So in France, every year they have a festival where they're taking and throwing her into the ocean.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. So even most recently, I've been learning French because Mary Magdalene and stuff left there and went to France when they were persecuting and stuff like that. So just even hearing the language and working with the language, it's like awakening different things in me. All the different information is becoming for me. So the type of tantra I practice is African and Western indigenous, Kemetic, all that type of stuff. And the whole purpose is to awaken your DNA so that you can bring back the information from your lineage, and we can bring it back and start putting all the pieces together and sharing with the community, and then being a positive force in the community as you should. So to experience this in my own life, it's just, it's hard to explain how it's hard to explain how much love there is for everybody in this world, how tangible your guidance and access to your real self is. They want you to have it as much as you want to have it. You see what I'm saying? And it don't have to be hard. Like, thank God for people like Professor Melanie, myself, and other people who want to get out here and throw everything to the wind and hope that something shakes. Like, hope this stuff is real. I'm gonna step out on faith, type of thing. And then when spirit holds you up, guys, it's a power and a confirmation that you can't put into words. It's the ineffable mysteries of God, right? And this is the things that the mother is bringing back to the world through Tantra, through the soul ascension, through the masculine and feminine, for men and for women, y'all. This is like for all of us. And I'd have to be on the ride. I am. So that's all I have for that.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And I want to say something because you said, and I'm paraphrasing, that you struggle with the ego when speaking your truth. And so I always say this: when it is truth, it is truth. Okay. It's not arrogance. It's not your ego. It is that truth, right? Don't doubt yourself and you speak it. You be bold about it, right? As spiritual warriors, we have to be bold. Okay.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
You can't be weak. No, I always give the example of Superman, right? When Superman is being Clark Kent and trying to be humble, it's weird energy. It's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
He feels weird. He's clumsy. But when he's Superman, nobody's saying, oh my gosh, you're flying too high. Who do you think you are? It's like, save us.
Yeah. That's how it is. That girl, that's crazy. That's how it is. Cause she'll be going down, man.
Yeah.
For the people who don't know me, I be removing negative entities. I have a video on my Instagram further down with dudes like, and I'm just in there, doing these things, and that the second guessing of the ego is not there. Just the power and the spiritual sovereignty is just like standing. And after that, the human comes in like, oh, that shit was scary, type of thing. But like, nobody is doubting it when I'm standing in my real energy. It's just that little human part of me that's
Yeah.
like, is it foolish to think as much of you? And that's conditioning.
That's conditioning.
It's conditioning. It's conditioning. Yeah. Yeah. So I appreciate you coming out the closet here, family. Thank you.
be freaking bold. Like, speak your truth. I tell my students, like, who are you? Like, how dare you not be in your full capacity as a spiritual being? You better show 100% who you are and be bold about it, because there's entities and energies that are bold about their lies and their nonsense, right? So back. You be just
I feel the exact same way, man. I feel like that is one of the biggest things that they have done to us is to make us play small.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? And I know that you get to the whole financial thing, but like, I listen to Wall Street Trap and some other people, and he says that mediocrity is expensive, family. You know what I mean? How much does it cost for you to feel like you can't make it every single day? For you
listen.
to feel like you have to give up your options and your sovereignty to somebody who doesn't care anything about you. You see what I'm saying? Like, to have a love that is not worth the time that you put
Mm,
into it. No, you really think that's what you created for yourself when you sit yourself down here, when you signed those contracts, when you said you and I guide yourself? You think that's what you signed up for? Maybe, possibly. I mean, anything's possible. But if it wasn't, you owe
yeah,
it to yourself and to the part of God you are to turn the F up.
that's right. There's a truth to that, and there's a lie to that as well. Um, all spiritual beings are meant to, especially when you know who you are, you're meant to be able to connect to abundance and tap into abundance. Period. There is no lack. And so the idea that we're supposed to be in lack and be humble and not be bold, that is what we were conditioned. And it is not
Right,
truth,
right.
right? Babies who come in, you cannot say a baby's not spiritually connected, right? To God, Big Mama, the all, right? They're bold about it. They don't operate in lack. Not
Mm-hmm.
ever was thought, well, maybe there's not enough milk for me today, and let me just be humble, and mom has two breasts, let me just get the left one, and I'll just be hungry, I'll just be thirsty, right? A
Mm-hmm.
toddler is in the store like, wow, I really want some toys, but mom is struggling, so let me not ask for this toy. They demand for it. I want this. They put in a cart like, this is mine, right? But we've been conditioned not to have access to that, or not to want or desire those things. And so never was any spiritual master teacher anywhere in history, and I know because I studied it,
Mm-hmm.
lives in a place of not having. Let's give an example of Buddha, right? So Buddha lived very humbly, didn't have much, right? But he
That
chose. He
way. Prince. Yep.
was an option. You had the option.
Yep.
We could name one of them. They all had the option, so they could have, but they recognized what that was, but they still had access to it. Otherwise, how do you do the work? How do you do
How do you People don't know that Mary Magdalene was rich and she was the one financing the whole situation.
that? That's right. So the one they called Jesus was surrounded by wealthy people. Not only that, he came from a wealthy family. His family, right? The first two disciples were business owners, okay? And so we get uncomfortable when we speak on that, but we give as spiritual beings, we do so abundantly, but the reciprocation, and this was the third principle I spoke about, I need, it's like, no, no, thank you, right? But
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
pay my bill, right? And then you get a message to do this thing, and it's like, well, no, I'm okay, no, thank you. It's so we close ourselves off to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is also a imbalance between the masculine and the feminine energy, right?
1,000%.
Absolutely, yeah.
1,000%. And I was actually talking to my partner about this and a couple other people not too long ago because I went to Spelman for economics. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't finish because of the whole military thing, but economics is the study of the management of scarce resources, right? So people don't realize that you have been conditioned to think that everything is scarce. So what Tantra is about the abundance versus the scarcity model. How you see the world. Do you see the world in abundant nature or do you see it in a scarce nature? So all of us, like you just said, has been conditioned to believe that there's not enough love, not enough water, not enough this, not enough land, not enough time, not enough, all of these things, and none of that is true. And when we take that perspective, your root chakra is going to always be off.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Because you're not orienting or calibrating yourself to be in line with the supportive nature of the earth and the universe. Look around you. There's enough nutrients in all the soil to produce all these trees, all this everything, but they're going to tell you there's not enough nutrients in the soil to grow your food, right? They're
Crazy.
going to tell you spray this on here and cut your weeds down. All the weeds that are edible, that are medicinal, spray it down, kill it because HOA, but we're in a food
Right.
shortage. Like all of these things, you can't have the love that you want. You guys, we just have to change our perspective on all the Kool-Aid that we drink. The universe, everything is lavishly abundant. I just finished the 40-day abundance challenge with the Randolph Price somebody, but it was really really good, and it was all about changing your relationship with the energy of abundance, which is God is all sustaining. You see what I'm saying? It's all satisfying. It's unfailing. Like winter comes every year. Spring comes every year. It ain't gonna come. And when we dead, it's still gonna be coming until so we can rely on the fact that our nature knows how to fix ourselves, heal ourselves, and inform ourselves about why we are here, family. It's really, really, it's not as complicated as trying to make it seem, to be real with you. It's really not. It's really, really not. It's not. So thank you for that. It's important. So just so I can remember. So July 3rd, I'm having a webinar. The link is here. Sign up if you want to know more about the classes. Professor Melanie is having an event. Sign up for that. You can get the replay from my webinar, attend her live, watch the webinar, sign up for the class, and we're going to be doing something together eventually, I
Yeah.
hope. But
That's
yeah, yeah. So all the things you learn in her webinar, we're going to put that into play and energetics in the bodywork class. So for people who don't know what tantric bodywork is, we call it tantric body work because it's about bringing everything into wholeness and balancing the polarities, a polarity-based therapy. But the whole goal is to awaken your energy body, to calibrate it to this world so that you can receive the information to open you to your destiny and stuff like that. If you want to offer it to other people, that's on you. But really the class is so you can learn how to master your own energy and apply it to the place that's most auspicious for you, which may not be, clients. But yes, sign up for the webinar and all of that stuff like that. Okay, now, how much time do you got? I'm not gonna hold you too long. I want to be respectful. It's
oh,
8:43 now.
you're fine. You are fine.
Okay, because I also heard you strict on time in your Anya speech. I was like, oh, let me make sure I'm real on time. That Virgo started popping off. Okay. Let's see if we have any questions in the chat. Do you guys have any questions for anything you guys are hearing here?
Yes,
Drop a heart in the chat if you're liking this.
phone.
Yes,
Give me one second.
yes. Please.
I'm notorious for my phone dying, y'all.
Me too. Me too. Don't feel bad. I'm so bad about it. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't see any questions. Good. So what do you have coming up? Like what is your work taking you over the next what's on the horizon for SAU?
Oh my gosh, SAU. It is a work. Let me say that. This is something that 25 years ago I was told about. I was sharing with someone a vision of having a school where, and again, I didn't know at the time, but I was just so frustrated being in college and watching all my friends graduate and nobody had jobs. Everybody like majored in biology, but then you're working at, Walgreens.
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is not right. And I could see clearly what it was. And I said, people should major in what they're passionate about and then, go out in the world and do that. And so this vision was brought back to me several years ago. And so this is what Spiritual Ascent University is. It is number one, who are you? Like, what is your soul mission, right? And then what is it that you're here to do? And now let's give you the strong spiritual foundation in order to do that. Because you cannot, and you know this, Adara, you cannot
Mm-hmm.
do this having that foundation because you fall. You
Mm-hmm.
feel weak. So when you have that foundation, it's like, well, let me go to my tools. Let me do the things I know to do. Let me go to my studies, my notes, whatever, so that I can continue on this path, right? This beautiful path that we are on. And so I teach people how to have a strong foundation. My first class that anyone does is meditation.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a spiritual being without knowing how to meditate, knowing how to connect, knowing who you're connecting
Right.
to, okay? Meditation
Right.
not just about it is not just clearing your mind and being mindful of nothing. That is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
um tapping into what that is. And so Spiritual Center University, we're growing, we're expanding. We have an amazing faculty, the best of the best that teach the students. We have a certification program that's happening right now, which Sister Mara Morse is teaching the astrology component of it. So yeah, we're growing, expanding. I have a lot of new things on the horizon, and I want to offer more to, you know, those who are spiritually aware and spiritually conscious at this time.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's what's up. That's what's up. I was going to be doing a mystery school with the group, but the group kind of did some other things. And it's good to see that these kind of things are still happening. And one thing I was inspired to do was create a space where spirit can just teach us face to face. You see what I'm saying? Like, that let them teach the class and let us learn the things. So, and that my tantric shaman class will be coming up. We're going to Bali in October, so if you guys are interested in coming to Bali, it's an 8-day immersion retreat. Pull up for that. But most excitingly, this tantric bodywork class is starting in July. I just want the best people. I want people who are actually interested in seeing where this stuff can take them. And every time I talk about this work, I feel like I'm not doing it justice. It's just so beautiful, and it just weaves together all the things that you're knowing. So no matter what you do, whether it's art therapy, whether it's accounting, engineering, anything, it's going to give you an extra, more than a boost, right? So just a couple things about tantra, right? So there's a couple pillars of tantra, right? There's daily practice, there's guru relationship, which we're going to say teacher student relationship. There is ritual, right? And then there's deity veneration, which you're going to say, like, you know, connecting to spirit, right? So we're going to be going through all of those different things. But I want people to really be able to go into the ritual portion uh, to download quickly what's going on. So, like spiritual framework, you were just talking about. The spiritual framework that helped me is the tree of life. I work heavy in the tree of life. You see what I'm saying? And it has not failed me, family. So I look at the Kemetic style. You can look at the Metronetter, other things like that. But they have laws of God. And one of them is like, it's not what you're imagining, it's who's imagining. Are you human or a divine being? If you're giving up the lesser for the greater, how can you call it sacrifice? And there's different truism that goes with each one of these deities that sit on these spheres. So you can look at them at like planetary spheres. You can look at them like I look at them, Aset, Sebek, Heteru, etc., Tahujima, etc., whatever. But they think in certain ways, and each one of these energies, just like in astrology, governs categories of information. Day trading, if you will, medicine, if you will, you know, herbology, mothering. And when you know how to tap in, you can look at herbology from the perspective of the energies that invented herbology. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? And now you're not just somebody, I'm just at school. No, it's different, and it's hitting a lot different. So when we're talking about harmony, and I'm learning about this stuff, because people are like, oh, what's your lineage and stuff? And I tell them my lineage, but more so, it's the fact that these spirits is coming down here and giving you real perspective. So I do what's called full embodiment, or if you're familiar with Ifa, who do full possession of energy, moving around and do energy through me and all this stuff. But in the process of that, I get to hear what they're thinking about each person they're working on, each energy that's happening, how to process it. And then my energy body downloads that. And now when I go back to being Sarah Gibson in the regular world, Adara Moselle, that is what's now running, and not my insecurities, not my this, not my that. And then life just ends up getting better and you don't know how you're winning. So I just want people to get excited about that. So that's really what this thing takes us to, the tantric shamanism. And it's a beautiful, beautiful work. So I can't wait to share it with you guys. I really can't.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important. You said something earlier about pleasure and being on the path of pleasure. And so one of the things that people don't realize about abundance or tapping into abundance, and I share this, like whenever you feel hopeless or like I can't, or I have a bill or whatever, go to pleasure. Whatever the pleasure is, find pleasure, and then it opens up to you.
Yes,
Like it's like,
it
this is,
does.
yeah, yes, open up. That was that easy. All I have to do is feel good within my body, right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
definitely is something that is important. we're so disconnected from our bodies. We don't listen to our bodies. We listen to other people tell us stuff about our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Where, especially what we should eat, how we should look. Like it's just really terrible, right? So like, you know, be on a keto diet, but no, let's be alkaline vegan, no, let's be vegan, let's be vegetarian, let's be, I don't know, pescatarian, let's be this, let's be that. It's always something. And
Yeah.
we're going with the flow, not listening to our own bodies, because your body will say, hey, I know this is a thing right now, but this is what I need, right?
Yeah.
Maybe your heart
Yeah.
needs chocolate. Your heart chakra needs that chocolate, right?
Girl,
Right. And
it's real.
so what you're doing is amazing, getting people to tap into their bodies. Like you said, I think people have a idea that, oh, it's tantra, so it's all sex and orgasm. Yeah, I know that is a very important part of it, important part of that. But that's not everything. That's not all that it is. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
your work is
It's not. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I tell people, again, our perspective about sex and orgasm, like we always like to believe that pleasure is frivolous. You know what I'm saying? Like it's because it feels good, it can't be valuable and it can't be all of that. But I talk about, we always talk about fight and flight, but what about rest and reset? What about the fact you're stuck in a constant loop of trauma and you can't get out of it? And you need something that's going to tell your brain that it's okay, that you're safe, and you can awaken it. And that's the only way to really get out your masculine energy, because the masculine is always going to protect the feminine inside, which is your experience. So when we're not experiencing, we're not having good times and stuff like that, you're going to be all toughed up and you're going to over defensive, over harsh, dry, cold, alienate yourself. And not because you're choosing to because you enjoy being to yourself, it's because the world is
yeah,
dangerous. And it's a totally different orientation. Like you're putting your heart in a prison instead of putting it in a safe. It's totally different. You see what I'm saying? And it's, again, you giving away your power. So when we look at things in the way that the Most High created, which is in levels and in depths, and sex isn't just sex. All of us came through that shit. What are you talking about? All of us were made through that. What are you talking about? Every all the wars, everybody falling down through in social whatever, like Hollywood and music. All of that's about sexual things, who you're doing it with, who you did it to, how you did it. But nobody wants to talk about it. Like it doesn't matter. All the trauma it creates. But if we did it properly, you don't think they would bring beauty into this world? Come on, family. That's bad math, man. It's bad math.
it
It's
is.
bad math, family. Everybody's doing it. Everyone. Everybody's not meditating. Everybody's having
That's
sex.
right. That's right.
And it's like, guys, let's just stop being so afraid of this thing, because, again, this goes as we know, colonization and conditioning and original sin. Your body is not a sin. Your body is high functioning technology.
That's right.
AI is taking over, but what we're really doing is getting to the real AI, which is authentic
Yes.
intelligence. Your body is connected to that, like your meridians, your chakras, your energy stuff is a bridge between this physical genius, magical technology, and the non-physical. All of it's happening at the same time, right? So if we don't appreciate this thing, how do you expect it to really work for you? You know what I mean? Like, the vibration of it alone is going to be low, because gratitude is high vibration and you need it to sustain family. So we just have to stop taking so many things for granted. Like water is just water. No, it's not, honey. It's not. Fire is not just fire.
Right.
Stop being basic. And I like this, because this is how my guides are. They're like, give it to them this way. Be bold in the way you say it.
All the way bold.
Be, be wild, be braggadocious, be this. And it's crazy because I had to go through this route of tantra to be able to do it. So yeah, because I was so shy. I was like so like embarrassed of myself in so many different ways. But I had to go through this path of liberation to be able to be out here all wild and wretched the way I am. Not wretched, but free.
No, our, and who our truest selves here is how we are on the other side. And when I say the other side, I mean out of this construct, out of this world. So we think that our souls are this holy, you know, love and light energy. And it's like, if you, the experiences that I've had, you know, out of body experiences on the other side, it's like, oh, it's like love and hip hop over here. Okay. And so you really are like, I really am like this. I really talk like this. I'm really like loud sometimes. Like, oh, that's my soul is like that. So it's okay for me to be like that, right? And sometimes we're like, no, I can't be like this because it's not spiritual or it's not. No, like
Do it all. Do it all. Do not be nonchalant. We want all the chalants out here, family. All the chalants.
that's how we find each other. Do you like? That's how we find our soul family. How we connect with each other because it's like, I I get what you're saying. I hear what you, even though you're like, I'm not saying you're right or I'm not expressing myself right. I get it. It's a resonance. It's a vibrational thing. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember you, your
Mm-hmm.
sister, there. I recognize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when you're not yourself, I'm like, I think she's familiar, but I'm not really sure. I don't know, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Be 100%. You want to call it ratchet, whatever you want to call it. Be 100% that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really is unfiltered, right? Because I feel like our sensitivity level has decreased because we're so protective of everything, like everything. And that's why I don't even really like the term sacred like that because it takes it out of accessibility. You see what I'm saying? And it's like something else is separated, but like I said, I work a lot with Yeshua and stuff like that. Those people are in the streets, they're with the people. And that's what Tantrika does. We go to the darkest, deepest places and we find God there. You see,
And
well, that's what we do.
listen, I tell people, I actually have the book behind me. I tell people, you want to know about the one they call Jesus, read this book
Mm-hmm.
because ha, he was like going in on people. I was like, I like this dude. About the sweet Lamb of God. I don't know about him, but this dude in here, he be going in on people. He's like, what? Didn't I tell you I'm doing my work? Like, I don't have time for the shenanigans. How many times, Thomas, do I got to tell you this is what it is? Like, stop playing, right?
I'm taking it down. Put the storm to sleep. What do you mean?
Like, what, be quiet, kind of sleep. Like, his energy was not peace, be still. Like, if you
No.
and something wakes you up out of your sleep, like Jesus, we're sinking, and he's like, yo, I keep telling y'all,
Try to sleep.
same shit over and over again. You know, let me just do it myself. Shut up.
Yeah,
I'm trying to sleep.
that's
That's the
it.
energy.
That's it.
That's the energy. That's the power. We're taught like the opposite. One of my favorite, because I freaking, when I first started becoming aware, I was like, oh, the Bible is written by the white man. It's lies. And Spirit told me, when there's truth in there, go back. But
Mm-hmm.
this time, and so one of my favorite stories is when the one they called Jesus, because that's not the real name, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
He was chilling with his people at the bar. He was at the club. He was a strip club. Okay, how do you know this? Because some Pharisees came up to him and they were like, Jesus, what are you doing here with the prostitutes and the wine bibbers, the people that drink? Where do they hang out? Listen, it's the same people. Where do these people hang out? They hang out at the club. So Jesus was at the club, right? Okay. So he wasn't at like the park, right? He was at the club. And so they were like, what are you doing? You know, aren't you John's cousin?
Yeah.
And he was like, miss me with that. John is holier than thou. He's out in the fields with the berries and doing all that shit. I'm out here doing my work with my people.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
them if I'm out there. Do you understand?
Mm.
Yeah, that story right there. This is why I tell people: be you, be you.
Be
You know?
you.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. Like, and then even like, and with the goddess energy, like Mother Mary told him to make wine because the party ran out. That's why the water was turned into wine because there was out of drink. And the mama said, son, fill up the cups. You see, this is the energy that was happening back then.
This is when you this is how we decode stuff. Read it again. I want you to read it again because it literally says that Mother Mary said, I need you to make this wine. And he said, it's not my time yet. And the next
Mm-hmm.
verse, he was making the wine. What they didn't say is that his mother was like, I know you did not tell me you not do it. I said, make the wine. The next verse, right? He was like, okay, ma, right? It's real Well,
It's
it's this,
real.
right? And
It's
so we
real.
have separating ourselves and thinking I'm not holy enough because I don't act like this or how I've been taught to act. You are perfect. Your soul is perfect how you are, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I love it. I love it. I love this is such a tantric conversation. Tantra is the path of least repression. You see what I'm saying? And we're just trying to embrace our full selves. And everybody's like, they don't want to be here. And third dimension is da 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 da. But there's a reason why we're here. Like, and the work that I'm doing is for the ones of us that are learning how to be guides that play in this realm, to learn how to be God at play, to wield our energy, to have the life we want, to do the things, to enjoy, to have impact,
Yeah.
to create change, to write in the story of the cosmos, family. Like, y'all think y'all just alive. We are writing the story of the cosmos. You know what I mean? And it's just so interesting that we have all of these conditions around our acceptability in so many different ways. And that's again such the reason why I love working in the sex area, because everybody's shadow shows up. Like, everybody's like, oh, people get off the line, they don't want to deal with it, they don't want to hear it, but it's just it's it's poignant to how they show up in every other area of their lives. You see what I'm saying? And I was reading the Mary Magdalene manuscript when I found out about my lineage, and it was talking about the tantric relationship between Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, how that powered his energy body to go and do the ritual we know as the resurrection and the death and resurrection and stuff, which was a Haru initiation,
That's
family.
right.
It's a it's a Haru initiation. And like and when Jesus said, "Pick up your cross and walk with me," it's telling you to be the hero of your own life, be your champion of your own thing. Like, you can do better things than I'm doing. Like, get off the couch.
Right.
You can do more than what I'm doing. So, and just in my life, as I'm crafting this path that I'm on and stuff like that. Like, I put up a couple of years ago a video of myself doing telekinesis and teaching my son, and some of the other crazy things that people have witnessed me doing. And I'm like, the next logical step in my energy evolution is to be able to materialize things out of thin air. And it's not far
No,
fetched, so I'm wrapping my mind around some of
it's not.
this.
It's not. Don't even find nothing. Just do it. I'm telling you, do it.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to now. And I might make a whole series about it. Because it's interesting, man. It's interesting because in me learning who I am, I had to ask, like, how do we do this? My son came in here. Baby, prepare you penny for gold with my money
Right.
bath.
Kind of
Yeah, shake my money bath. Yeah. Yeah, but I forgot what I was gonna say. You done threw me off now though. Sorry. Man. I forgot.
but you doing the work to realize things in your life.
Oh. It's like right here. It'll come back to me. Dang. Dang, 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 dang. It'll come back to me. But I guess that might be the sign. Because I will keep you all night. Because I'm enjoying this conversation. So I have a podcast that I started called the Shaman Chic Podcast. And what the goal of this podcast is, beyond other ones, is to talk about the lifestyle of being a spiritual person, a shaman, a healer, and stuff like that. Because we go through things. And it's the moment to moment mastery that gives us the ability to provide the information to y'all on these lives. I can't tell you how many times I rolled around in the crowd, like, God, make it make sense. And they do eventually after I've gone through the tests and stuff like that. But in that, we learn all the wisdom, all the stuff like that. So in our last couple minutes, can you just share some of maybe like one or two of the most impactful lessons that Spirit ever taught you about being on the walk?
Mm, um, I think one of the most impactful things, lessons I've learned is that you're always protected, you're always guided, you're always loved. Like, always. So you're always going to be protected. So don't fear anything. Like, you're good. You're always going to be guided. Don't worry about making mistakes. There are no mistakes. You're going to be guided towards where you need to be. Like, your spirit team is there. That's their job. That's their, that you're guided the right way, and that you're loved. The the word love, I did a teaching on it, I think a few years ago. We don't even understand what that is. We don't understand, but there's a feeling to it. I remember feeling the feeling in an out of body experience. And I was just like, there's no words to describe it, but there's so much love for us. And if we only understood, like, there's so much love, protection, security, all of this that's just there, just sitting, like, we're waiting for you to tap in. I think we'll be so much in a more stronger, confident, you know,
Mhm.
and then just moving with, like, I don't care what anyone thinks. This is what I'm going to do because I know I'm guided. I know I'm protected. I know I'm loved. You may not like me, but it's okay. I have a whole team that loves me. Do you understand?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
that was, I would say. And the second thing is meditation is key. Meditation is key. You cannot be on this journey without knowing how to meditate, understanding it. And it's not just sitting in certain positions, etc. Those are types of meditations. But the goal of meditation truly is to connect. Why do we connect? Because we need the guidance. We need to know what to do. And so meditation can be found in many different ways. But if we never get silent enough to connect, then we don't have the guidance that we need. We can't, receive the downloads. There's so many things we miss out on. And so just by meditating, I tell people just take a few minutes a day. Like, you brush your teeth every day, right? I hope, right? We hope everybody
Right.
brushes their teeth, right? Then you can take a few moments just to connect, like, you're a spiritual being, right? Getting to the job is not as more important than you connecting to you, right? You
Right.
getting guidance throughout your day, you being told to do this or to not do that, right? And so I think those are the most important things.
I
There's
like
many,
it.
those are the I can think of right now.
Yeah, no, no, that's great. That's great. That's great. If I had anything to say, I would say don't take yourself so seriously.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just have fun with this thing, family. Like, you wrote this thing for
mm,
yourself to
yeah,
experience, right? You need to have some trust in that and understand that, yeah, a lot of crazy things might have happened in your life, but that does not dictate where you're going or whatever else like that. Don't give your power away. Don't get lost in the experience. This is another reason why meditation is so important, because you watch the experiences go around without being swayed by it.
that's
And the more you're able to watch yourself, you can see what belongs to you and what doesn't belong, what aligns and what doesn't align. So no matter who you're learning from yourself first.
right.
That's that's the biggest thing I can give you guys. Like I said, July 3rd, I'm having a free webinar. The link is there. Please register. Professor Melanie, please tell them about your event as well.
Yes. So July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I'm having a workshop, 3-day workshop. It's called the Ascension Formula. And we're learning how to tap into both the masculine and the feminine through the heart chakra. I have two amazing guest shamans that will be teaching. Brendan Terrell, he's teaching July 1st on tapping into the masculine. And then Soul Garcon is teaching July 2nd, tapping into the feminine. And then I'm coming on July 3rd on how to use those energies to ascend through the heart chakra, because that is how we ascend, y'all. And so, yes,
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, with that being said, I didn't paste the wrong. I mean, well, I pinned that. I was going to paste something else, but I just want to take maybe 3 minutes just for do this a light meditation, family. Just a light. Normally don't, but let's just do a little one. Like, my heart feels like we should have some action in
yes,
it. So if you guys are down, just follow us for a second. Disregard my baby back here that's playing with crystals, apparently. Okay, so just get yourselves nice and comfortable. Nice and comfortable. Relax yourselves. All right, release our shoulders. Relax our jaws. Maybe wiggle them a little bit. Feel into your hips, right? Awaken the root chakra. And we're just going to breathe naturally. Whatever's comfortable for you. I'm just going to do a nice little snap. You can choose when to inhale. You can choose when to exhale. Just feel a nice rhythm for you. Your inhale, we're going to go in through the nose, out through the mouth, letting a little sound out like, And with every exhale, I just want you to feel space being created within your spine. Mm. With every inhale, more light flowing into your system, easing your mind, easing your back, your neck, your shoulders. Breathing space into our system. I just want you to put your awareness into your heart, into the back of your heart. Good job, baby. Space being created in your heart. And I slowly want you to start feeling, seeing, and sensing a beautiful purple light spiraling around your heart, relaxing, soothing, calming, empowering. We're just gonna let that energy, we're just gonna let that energy flow throughout our whole body. And just watch yourself. And what this purple light is the energy of Sophia, the divine mother, the divine creatrix. Just adding a little bit of love in the places that might be a little hard, might be a little tough, where you might feel that extra energy. And you can do this as long as you like. You can see your heart radiating, growing, spilling, and flowing through your body. You can see it going up into your crown, clarifying your thoughts. You can see it going out into your house, calming your kids, calming your neighborhood, down into the ground, healing the earth, up into the sun, shining love and light. Whatever you want to do. And this is just something I want you to take with you. So take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Creating space and pulling up power. Finally, wiggling our toes, wiggling our fingers, slowly opening our eyes as comfortable. Feeling power.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was beautiful.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being a part. If you have any last words, feel free. You know.
No, thank you. I just want to share with you, continue doing your work. There's so much for you to do. I just want you to know that. Yeah, you're impacting so many people. Yeah. Don't,
I shall. I shall.
yeah, everyone that's watching, make sure if you're not following Adara, make sure you connect, follow. She's definitely speaking from a place of truth. Yeah. Yeah, this is her work. She's in alignment with her work. And you want to connect alignment with your work. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I received that. Thank you so much, big sis. I so appreciate it. I honor you. My heart goes out to you. Thank you. And Much blessings, and let everywhere you walk be gold, everything you touch be gold, everything you see be blessed. And I pray that Spirit always walks with you and holds everything close to you, closer to them, and keep you protected and your family, and bless everyone in your community and everybody watching this live, and all of our ancestors. Shout out to you guys, Earth, Air, Fire, Water, Spirit. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Happy Friday. Love you.
And peace.
Peace.